Dust swirled beneath the warped floorboards, caught in a single shaft of fading sunlight. The pumps hadn't worked in decades, their glass cracked and caked with grime. Silence pressed in like a weight, until a low vibration hummed through the soles of his boots. He froze. A combat-trained instinct flared. Something was wrong, and the old dog beside him wasn't growling at him. He was warning him. He had come here broken, carrying wounds no bandage could hide. The war was over, but its echoes never left. Nightmares that stole sleep, memories that stole peace. Medically discharged, adrift, he'd inherited this forgotten gas station from a man he barely remembered. No family, no future, just four crumbling walls and a past too heavy to outrun. When a lawyer handed him the keys, he didn't feel hope, just numbness. This place wasn't a fresh start. It was an ending. The station sat swallowed by time, deep in the back roads where maps forgot names. Rusted pumps leaned like dying soldiers. Weeds clawed through asphalt. Paint peeled like dead skin. Ivy wrapped the roof like skeletal fingers refusing to let go. Locals watched from porches as he arrived, shaking their heads. "Ain't nothing there," one muttered. Another spat. "That dog will tear you apart if you get close." But the Marine kept walking. He'd faced worse than junk and rumors. Then he saw him. The K9 limped forward, ribs visible beneath matted fur. One ear torn, eyes sharp as shattered glass. He growled, a deep, guttural sound that rolled across the lot. Not blind rage. Focused. Alert. Like a sentry on duty. The Marine crouched slowly, hand outstretched. "Easy, brother," he whispered. The dog didn't lunge, didn't retreat, just stared. And in that stare, something clicked. He saw himself, wounded, wary, still guarding something worth protecting. That night, the silence broke. Metallic tapping echoed beneath the floor, rhythmic, deliberate. Tap, 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 pause. The Marine sat up, pulse spiking. His training screamed. That's not random. Beside him, the dog barked once, then paced, nose to the ground, tail stiff. He followed, flashlight trembling in hand. The dog stopped at a corner, pawing at a loose board. The Marine pried it open. Cold air rushed out. Dust spiraled. Beneath it lay a rusted metal handle, half buried in dirt. His breath caught. Days passed in a blur of discovery. The dog led him everywhere. Under the collapsed canopy, behind the boarded-up office, beneath the cracked concrete near the old oil tank. Each time, he found something. A sealed canister, a brittle map, a key wrapped in oilcloth. Nothing made sense until he pieced together the blueprints. Tunnel spiderweb beneath the property. Hidden vaults. Emergency exits. This wasn't just a gas station. It was a cover. A secret bunker buried for decades. And the dog? He wasn't guarding the land. He was guarding the truth. The animal never left his side. He reacted to sounds the Marine couldn't hear, flinched at shadows no one else saw. One afternoon, he barked sharply at the main office desk, then dug at the floor beneath it. The Marine lifted the rotting tile. There it was, a circular metal hatch, bolted shut, coated in dust. His hands shook as he turned the wheel. With a groan, the door opened. A narrow staircase descended into darkness. The air below smelled of cold steel and old electricity. He took the first step. The dog followed, silent, alert. At the bottom, a massive vault stood like a tomb. Its surface was scarred, numbers faded, but the lock mechanism intact. In a drawer nearby, he found keys, worn, labeled in code. One read, Project Iron Cache. Heart pounding, he inserted the key. Turned it. The bolts retracted with a hiss. The door swung open. Inside, stacks of cash bundled in plastic, gold bars stacked like bricks, crates stamped with government seals. Files labeled classified, do not open, and photos, men in uniforms standing where he now stood. One face looked familiar. His relative. The truth hit him like a bullet. This wasn't abandoned. It was hidden. The dog nudged his leg, looked at the files, then back at him, as if saying, there's more, and there was. Documents revealed a Cold War-era operation, off-the-books funding, missing assets, a network of safe houses. This station was one of many. but the others were compromised. Only this one remained undiscovered. Because of the dog, left behind, loyal, waiting, guarding, for years, decades, through storms and silence. He hadn't been abandoned. He'd been on duty, trained, stationed, faithful until the end. But secrets that big don't stay buried. By the third night, figures appeared at the tree line, silhouettes in dark coats, moving slow, scanning the lot. The dog growled before the Marine even saw them. Rigid, ears flat, every muscle coiled. They weren't scavengers. They were hunters, and they knew what was down there. The Marine moved fast, activated traps from the blueprints, pressure wires, false floors, smoke charges. He guided the dog through tunnels, positioning him at choke points. They weren't running. They were defending. One intruder stepped on a weakened plank. The floor gave way, dropping him into a net below. Another triggered a noise flare, blinding him in the dark. The dog lunged, not to bite, but to herd to cut off escape. The Marine emerged from a hidden passage, voice calm, commanding. "It's over." The men froze. Outmaneuvered, outsmarted, not by weapons, by strategy, by loyalty, by a bond forged in silence and survival. Sirens wailed in the distance. The authorities arrived. Handcuffs snapped shut. The vault was sealed. The secret was safe. In the weeks that followed, the Marine stayed. He didn't sell. He rebuilt. Stripped the decay, repaired the roof, restored the pumps. Turned the garage into a veteran outreach center. Installed a small plaque near the office. In honor of the silent guardian who never left his post, the dog, now named Rex, patrolled the lot every morning, tail high, eyes sharp. Not because danger lingered, because duty remained. They stood together at sunset, the Marine and his dog, silhouetted against golden light. The station wasn't just alive again. It was sacred, a monument to second chances, to trust, to the quiet heroes who never ask for thanks. He knelt, hand resting on Rex's head. "We didn't find treasure, buddy," he whispered. "We found each other." Rex leaned into him, warm and steady. No bark, no growl, just presence. And in that moment, the war inside him finally ended. News spread fast. Reporters came. Cameras rolled. Headlines called it the discovery of the century. A $300 million secret buried beneath a forgotten gas station. But the Marine didn't care about fame. He cared about purpose. He used part of the fortune to restore the town. Fixing roads, funding schools, building a shelter for homeless veterans. Rex became a local legend. Kids brought him treats. Old men saluted him like a hero. And every evening, without fail, he walked the perimeter, checking corners, sniffing vents, ears twitching at the wind. Still on duty. People asked how a broken man and an old dog uncovered what governments missed. The answer wasn't luck. It was instinct. It was trauma meeting loyalty. The Marine understood silence. He knew what fear sounded like. And Rex, he understood waiting. He knew what it meant to guard something greater than life. Together, they weren't just survivors. They were guardians. Months later, the Marine received a letter, sealed, official, from the Department of Defense. They confirmed it. The station was part of a classified Cold War asset network, designed to store emergency funds in case of national collapse. Most sites were raided or destroyed. Only this one survived because the last operative, his late relative, had trained a K-9 to protect it until a blood relative arrived. The dog had waited, not out of habit, out of orders, out of loyalty etched into his soul. The Marine read the letter twice, then knelt beside Rex, tears in his eyes. "You knew all along, didn't you?" The dog looked up, blinked slowly, almost human, and rested his muzzle on the Marine's knee. No bark, no fuss, just understanding. That night, the Marine lit a candle in the office, placed a photo of the original handler and the dog side by side, saluted, and whispered, "Mission complete." Now, the gas station runs under new lights, clean, bright, humming with life. Travelers stop for fuel, coffee, stories. Some come just to see Rex, sitting proudly by the door, badge pinned to his collar. The vault remains sealed, protected, a silent heartbeat beneath the earth. And above it all, two lives rebuilt, one from war, one from abandonment. Now standing tall, side by side, proving that sometimes the greatest treasures aren't gold or glory. They're healing, they're connection. They're the quiet moments when a broken man finally finds peace, not in wealth, but in the warmth of a dog leaning against his leg, watching the horizon together. Before you go, what did you think a vault held? Gold? Weapons? Government secrets? Drop your guess below. I love reading your theories. And if this story reminded you that even in the darkest places, loyalty can light the way, hit like, share, and subscribe. Every click helps these stories reach more people. Seriously, where are you watching from? Type your country in the comments. I read every single one. Until next time, word count 1,900.